Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Ma'am Irul and everyone. Today, we will discuss the important statistical test of normality, multicollinearity, heteroscedasticity, autocorrelation, and linearity. These are very important to ensure data reliability and validity in regression analysis. Let's get started. So, this is the member of a group. First is Nadia Aura S with last digit name 278, and 2 is Bunga Emas A with last digit name 288, and Lila Kurniasari with last digit name 294, and Tata Alvina with last digit name 316, and Nur Eriska with last digit name 331, and me, Rifki Aditya Tama with last digit name 354, and Rizka Putri with last digit name 358, and Riza Aditya with last digit name 368, and last is Indah Nazilatul with last digit name 375. Next. So this part will be present by a member. Thank you.
So, number 1 is normality test. Normality test is a statistical method that plays an important role in determining whether a data set follows a normal distribution or not. In the context of research, normality tests help researchers to evaluate the validity of the basic assumptions required in statistical analysis. Normal distribution is one of the fundamental assumptions required in many analysis techniques, such as analysis of variance and linear regression. If the data is not normally distributed, the use of parametric statistical methods can produce inaccurate results. The importance of normality tests in research can be reviewed from various aspects. First, this test allows researchers to know the characteristic of the data to be analyzed. By knowing whether the data follows a normal distribution, researchers can choose the right analysis method, both parametric and non-parametric. In addition, the result of the normality test can also influence decisions related to sampling and research design. Normality test also contributes to the validity of research results. If the data does not meet the assumption of normal distribution and inappropriate analysis is used, this can produce misleading conclusions. Therefore, the implementation of normality tests is a crucial step in every research discipline. Next.
Some examples of analysis with the assumption of normality are: Number 1, linear regression and ANOVA have the assumption that the residual model follow a distribution. Number 2, linear discriminant analysis assumes that the independent variable in each group must be normally distributed. And the last is estimating the confidence interval for the mean or proportion assumes the data follow a normal distribution. The normality test is used to determine whether a set of data follow a normal distribution or not. There are several methods to perform the test. In this article, we will discuss 6 methods, namely histogram and KDE plot, Kiki plot, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, Shapiro-Wilk test, Anderson-Darling test, and Jarque-Bera test. Next. The normality test can be seen from the result of the pp-plot histogram. Data is normally distributed if the point follow the line. And the next slide is the output result of the normality test data. Next. Next. From the output result, it can be concluded, since the p-value is 0.010, which is greater than the general significance level, usually 0.05. it can be concluded that the data is normally distributed. Thus, the normality test of the data can be stated that the data is normally distributed. Next.
Okay, this is a multicollinearity test. For theory is the term multicollinearity itself was first introduced by Regner Frisch in 1934. According to Frisch, a regression model is said to be affected by multicollinearity if there is a perfect of exact linear relationship between some or all of the independent variables of a regression model. As a result, it will be difficult to see the effect of the explanatory variables on the variables being explained. Madala 1992 2069 into 2070. This means that the problem of multicollinearity will not occur in a regression model whose function from is nonlinear, but the problem of multicollinearity will appear in a regression model whose function from is linear among the independent variables. For the explanation, multicollinearity test is something that is done to see if there is a strong relationship between independent variables in a multiple linear regression model. This test aims to check whether there is a strong linear relationship between independent variables or not. Next, we'll present by a member. Next. 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 Okay, Nadia, here you are.
So based on the PIV table, the PIV flu is less than 10, so that the data does not accord multicollinearity. In addition to the above method, multicollinearity can be seen from the tolerance of loop. If tolerance more than alpha 0,05, then the data is free from multicollinearity. From the table above, it is known that our tolerance for PKP, PEG, PKE, PPG, PSN, PKW are more than 0,05, so there is no multicollinearity.
Maybe we can next, Indah.
Next.
Okay, the next is heteroscedasticity test. Heteroscedasticity occurs when the error variance in a regression analysis is not constant across values of the independent variable. In a regression model, the assumption that the error has a normal distribution with constant variance homoscedasticity is essential to obtaining efficient and valid estimates. When heteroscedasticity occurs, it can be caused by several factors, such as important variables not being included in the model. The use of an inappropriate model or difference in scale between the independent variables. The impact of heteroscedasticity include decreased efficiency of parameter estimation and negative effect on statistical tests, which can lead to erroneous conclusions. To detect heteros, researchers can use residual graphs where certain patterns, such as funnel shapes, can indicate the presence of this problem. In addition, statistical tests such as the Bush-Pagan test and the White test can also be used to verify heteroscedasticity. Handling this problem can be done in several ways, such as transforming variables, using logarithms, applying difference regression models, or using the widget place squares method, which assigns weight to observations based and expect variance. By understanding and addressing heteroscedasticity, we can improve the accuracy and reliability of regression analysis.
Heterogeneous density listing can be done using scatter plot graph from the predicted value of the dependent variable traced with the residual error CPRED. The basic for decision making is as follows. 1. If there is a Cartesian pattern such as exciting point forming a Cartesian regular pattern YV widening then narrowing, it indicates that heterogeneous density occurs. 2. If there is no clear pattern as well as point that spread above and below the number 0 on the y-axis, then there is no heterogeneity. If there are no dots that form a Cartesian regular pattern, and the dots on the scaffold above are spaced randomly above and below the number 0 on the y-axis, this means that there is no heterogeneity problem. If there is no particular pattern and does not speed above or below 0 on the y-axis, then it can be concluded that there is no heterogeneity. A good reset model is one that does not have heterogeneity. Ghazali 2016. The solution if the model violates the heterogeneity assumption is to transform it into logarithmic form, which can only be done if all data are positive. Or it can also be done by dividing all variable by the variable experiencing heterogeneity.
Okay, the conclusion from the result of the heteroscedasticity test in the ANOVA table, it can be said that the data does not experience heteros because the significant value is less than 0.05.
Well, the result of the heterogeneity test in the coefficient table data of course heterogeneity because the significant value is more than 0.05.
Next is autocorrelation test. The theory is autocorrelation test is a statistical analysis used to determine whether there is a correlation between the residuals, disturbing errors, in a regression model with the residual values in the previous period. This test is important to do especially on time series data, where observations that are sequential in time can influence each other. If autocorrelation occurs, then the residual values are not independent of each other, so that it can result in inefficient estimates and conclusions drawn are not correct. Therefore, if the assumption of autocorrelation occurs in the prediction model, then the disturbing values are no longer paired freely, but paired in an autocorrelation manner. Next.
Okay. The next is basic concept autocorrelation test. The first autocorrelation test is one of the prerequisite tests that must be met in regression analysis. Second, autocorrelation test is used when the data pattern is time series or secondary data. The third, there are several methods used in autocorrelation tests, including Durbin-Watson and run test. And the last, the method commonly used by research is the Durbin-Watson autocorrelation test. Not autocorrelation test is only used for time series data obtained within a certain period of time, such as financial report data and others. While for cross-section data obtained simultaneously or at once, such as drug distribution questionnaires, then the data does not need to be tested for autocorrelation. Next. And the next slide is output autocorrelation test. Next. Next. Okay, next again. Basic for decision making. First, if D less than DL or D more than 4 mean DL, then the null hypothesis is rejected, meaning there is autocorrelation. Second, if DU less than D less than 4 mean DU, then the null hypothesis is accepted, meaning there is no autocorrelation. And the third, if GL less than D less than DU or 4 mean DU more than D less than 4 mean DL, meaning there is no conclusion. Result of Durbin-Watson autocorrelate test, we know that N is 209 and D is 2,042 and DL and DU is obtained from the Durbin-Watson table with data is 209 and variable K is 6 and the result is DL is 0,68758, DU is 1,23460. For mean DL is 3,31242 and for mean DU is 2,7654. From this result, the conclusion we obtain is there is no autocorrelation because DU less than D less than 4 mean DU. Next.
Linearity test. Linearity test is one of the statistical methods used to test the linear relationship between two or more variables. In statistics, a linear relationship refers to a directly proportional or inverse relationship between the variables. Experts in the field of statistics have developed various methods to conduct linearity tests. One common method used is the linear regression test. In this test, we try to determine whether there is a linear relationship between the dependent variable, the variable we want to predict, and one or more independent variables, the variable used to predict the dependent variable. Next. Theory. Linearity test is important to determine Here, the linear regression model used is appro- appropriate or not according to the data we have. If the relationship between the dependent and independent variable is linear, then the linear regression model can be used to make prediction and estimates. However, if the relationship is not linear, then the linear regression model is not suitable and we need to find a more upper model. In general, linearity tests involves testing the null hypothesis stating that there is no linear relationship between the dependent and independent variable. If the null hypothesis is rejected, it can be concluded that a linear relationship exists. Next.
Okay, the basic of decision making in a linearity test is a test or analysis conducted in research must be guided by a clear basis for decision making. The basis for decision making in a linearity test can be done in two ways, namely, one is comparing significance values with zero point zero 0.05. The one, if the deviation from linearity value more than 0 zero point zero 0.05, then there is a significant linear relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. Number two, if the deviation from linearity significant value is less than 0.05, then there is no significant linear relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. And the second one is comparing the calculated f value with the f table. One, if the calculated f value less than f table, then there is a significant linear relationship between independent variables with the dependent variables. Number two, if the calculated f value more than f table, then there is no significant linear relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. And for the second one is there is correlation with the TKP relation. Deviation from linearity significant is sorry. Next, can we next? Yeah, from the data is the TAE and TKP is deviation from linearity significant 0.113 more than 0.05 based on the decision making basis, there is a significant linear relationship between TAE and TKP. The second one, comparing the calculated F value with the F table, F count 1.809, F table for the F to 202 can be found in the F distribution table, assuming the F numerator 5 and the F denominator 202. F table is around 2.26, and because F count is 1.809, F table 2.226, there is a significant linear relationship between TAE and TKP. Next. The correlation about TAE with relationship in TAD, comparing significant value with 0.05, deviation from linearity significant from the table is 0.569, more than 0.05. This shows that there is a significant linear relationship between TAE and TAD. Comparing the calculated F value with the F table, F count is 0.839, F table for the F numerator and 8 and the F denominator 199 is around 1.99. Because F count is 0.839, the less than F table 2.09, then there is a significant linear relationship between TAE and TAD. Next. Okay, TAE and TKE relationship correlation is comparing significant values with 0.05. Deviation from linearity significant is 0.000 less than 0.05. This means that there is no significant linear relationship between TI and TKI. Comparing the calculated F value with the F table, F count is 5.911. F table for the F numerator is 7 and the F denominator is 200, is around 2.06. Because F count more than F table, there is no significant linear relationship between TI and TKI. Next. The next one is explanation from my friend for Lila.
Relationship TEI and TPB. The deviation for linearity seek value of 0.218 more than 0.05 indicates a significant linear relationship. Next. Next, T and TSN relationship. The deviation from linearity seek value of 0.265 more than more than 0.05 indicates a significant linear relationship. Next, relationship T and TKW. The deviation from linearity seek value of 0.495 more than 0.05 indicates a significant linear relationship. Next. Next. Next.
Next.
Next.
Okay, the conclusion. Classical tests in statistics are employed to assess the appropriateness of a regression model. Below are the overarching conclusions derived from each classical test. 1. Normality test assessment. This test assesses the normal distribution of the residuals errors in the regression model. A normal distribution of the residuals indicates that the model is valid for a subsequent analysis. Conversely, if the residuals don't follow a normal distribution, data from transformation or alternative methodologies may be required. 2. Linearity assessment. This test evaluates the existence of a linear relationships between the independent and dependent variables. The linear regression model presupposes such a relationship. Therefore, if the results of the linearity test are significant, the linearity assumption is satisfied. Conversely, if the results are not significant, a nonlinear model may be considered. 3. Multicollinearity assessment. This test evaluates the strength of the relationship or high correlation among independent variables. In the presence of multicollinearity, the independent variables cannot be effectively explained in isolation, which may impact the estimation results. Possible actions include the elimination or combination of highly correlated variables. Next is autocorrelation analysis. This test assesses the correlation between successive residuals in a regression model. Autocorrelation suggests that the errors are not random, potentially biasing the regression results. If autocorrelation is detected, the model may require adjustment, such as employing a regression model with autocorrelation correction. And next is heteroscedasticity examination. This test evaluates whether the residual variance remains constant across observation. The presence of heteroscedasticity indicates a violation of the assumption of contains residual variance, potentially resulting in inefficient estimation. If heteroscedasticity is detected, data transformation or robust methods may be employed to address the issues. In conclusion, an effective regression model must adhere to all the classical assumptions outlined above. Should any of these assumptions be violated, corrective measures such as data transformation, variable elimination, or the application of alternative regression technique may be required. And that the last part of us. Next will be closed by Rifki.
Thank you, Tata, and thank you, everyone, for attention. That concludes our discussion on normality, multicollinearity, heteroscedasticity, autocorrelation, and linearity tests. We hope this has provided valuable insight into these key statistical methods. Thank you.